So I'm here with Simon Bean. It is a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure for you to be here.
Fantastic to see you, Danny.
What
honestly.
brings you to this to Hyde Park today? Let's start
Right,
with that.
I've come down to London for the entire weekend. Travelled in on Friday night after work, stayed over. Yesterday morning, went to Honor Oak Pub, which is about the drag queen story time, which is grooming at the end of the day.
Definitely.
We turned up about 8 o'clock at the site. There was 4 of us, and we were confronted by 30 Antifa cum trans supporters at the time.
Yeah.
Well, that was fine. You know, zero intimidation. We let them mouth off. We got a little bit of video. The police were there. The police did a fantastic job. We then got escorted all the way around to where we were going to actually stand. By the time the protest actually started, 10 o'clock, we had something like sort of 40 supporters there, which wasn't too bad. We were sort of on par with them because they only had about 60. But one of the glaring things for me was we had 50 police officers stood on the ground. We had a territorial support unit standing by, which is basically riot control, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And we had 15 vans. So how much does that cost the UK taxpayer just for that? If there had been one of us there on the protest, it would have been the same outlay.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a time, I think, where the government turns around and says, this is costing us so much money now for security forces to be there, then we have to nip it in the bud and perhaps try and calm things down.
But do you think that's what these people are doing? Because we know these are paid by the government through various NGOs, and we know that the government's trying to come hard on this type of protest. But to stop this protest and Just Stop Oil and all them type of protests, they've got to stop our protests as well. So do you think that's ultimately what their goal is, to bring about so nobody can actually protest?
Well, it may be that, but it's everybody's right to protest, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, 100%.
We know that. And we respect their right to protest just as much as I sort of see the right to protest on our own side, and I support that 100%. But when it becomes so sort of ridiculous, where people haven't got a clue what they're actually protesting for, at least we do know what we're protesting for. Yeah. These just see a wage packet at the end of the day.
Exactly.
They see their coach down, they see a £40 sort of wage coming into their bank or into their pocket.
Yeah.
They see a meal perhaps during the day, but there's no dedication, there's no passion. As soon as they get bored, they start wandering off. And we noticed that yesterday. They went from 60 to 30, basically a drop of a hat. And suddenly we had the upper hand, you know?
There's definitely is a time when they do go off. Now they've got all their umbrellas, they've got their face masks on, they've got that, and that shows dedication. I can see there's a sign that says Posey is something.
A fascist.
And all that. There you go. Posey is a fascist.
That's right.
But these people are hiding their faces, and it's easier to come down to something if you can hide your face. I said to the police, I said, what if I come down in a ski mask, and you know that I'm on the right, what would you do? And he said, it's going to be a different story. Yeah, when I go there, I've been stopped, multiple times trying to get an interview. I've been hit with their umbrellas. They tell me to go around here, but these people are the fascists. Yeah. So I'm in more danger of being with the fascists than I am with there. But the police don't care when I'm over there.
That's right.
They only care when I'm here. So it looks like they're facilitating it as well, like they have been doing for all protests in London.
It's weird, because we were having a conversation just a few minutes ago. We've got all the left, if you like, the hardline left, and those that are pro-trans. They're basically kettled in now by the police.
Yeah.
And then you've got our people here that we're supporting, which is all about women's rights, kids' rights, etc. There's no police around them at all. And you have to sort of think out the box a little bit. You have to say, well, are the police now trying to stop them from breaking out and disrupting the legal protest, if you like? Or are the police actually protecting them from us?
Yeah.
And that's where they can turn round and say, you're all Nazi
we're all
fascists.
Nazi fascists, and we only come here to cause trouble.
The bottom line is, Dan, if you speak the truth in this country today, and that's the country of England, but
Yeah.
it includes the Union as well, so
Yeah.
Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, if you speak the truth, you're classed as a far-right Nazi fascist.
Exactly.
Well, that's completely ridiculous. We had yesterday a gay Jewish man who happens to be ex-police, ex-prison officer, Screw. He now works in forensics and assists people with drug rehabilitation, etc., etc. They were calling him a Nazi fascist. It's ridiculous. Like this man, he's a mine of information. I picked his brain yesterday for lots and lots of little bits of info that is going to keep me on site, going to keep me on the Maverick Veteran side on YouTube, and it's also going to keep me on the Simon Bean side of Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I know that what I'm speaking is 100% truth. It's not. There's no flim flam. There's no fake news involved, and I'm certainly not a right. Yeah, I'm right wing, but that's centre right.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not far right, fascist, Nazi. And for as long as I can continue and try and get our 1% of believers up into the 2%, the 3% and beyond, I'll keep going at it.
Yeah. It needs to be done. You know, you are a veteran and you're very vocal on multiple things, but on this, it must be hard for you to know that you gave everything, every time you left this country, to go and protect it, in effect. In wartime, in peacetime, whatever you're doing, you knew there's a high possibility that you wouldn't come back. How does it make you feel now that you're walking around and people won't necessarily allow you to speak on what you want to do, and this is the type of thing that's come of England? How does that make you feel?
I said in Birmingham, I think it was in 2018, somewhere around there, and that was for the Justice for 21 protest.
Yeah.
And I said that, you know, I'd spent from sort of 1983 on signing up right the way through to 2005 when I retired. I've been to war 3 times, so that was desert twice, plus Bosnia. I spent 4 years on operations in Northern Ireland with public order, etc., etc. You know, that was, if you like, war and operations. And I found myself now in 2018 still at war, but at home.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, and when it came right through to sort of present day now in 2023, you're actually wondering, why did you even bother your ass? No wonder recruitment is down.
Yeah.
No wonder they're looking at handing our military over to the command of Brussels, because our wartime spirit is gone. There is nobody anymore that actually wants to sort of fight the corner in a uniform, because they know that what is happening at home isn't fair.
No.
So why should we go and fight somebody else's battle when we should be at home fighting our own battles?
Exactly, and that's what we've got to take on into the future. But thank you for having a conversation with me. It's always a pleasure.
Lovely to see you, Danny.
What are you doing in the future? What are you doing? Let's tell everyone where can we find you and what's your plans in the next 2 or 3 months. Have you got anything big coming up?
I'm going to keep on it. You can find me on Facebook, Simon Bean. If there's no room left on the friends list where you can still follow, I'm about to start a Facebook page as well, which is known as Maverick Veteran.
Okay.
And you can also get me on YouTube, which is Maverick Veteran. So I'm there and about. I'm open to advice always. If perhaps I should move on to Rumble or something else before I start getting taken down,
I think Rumble,
then that's perhaps what I should do.
Yeah, I was on. I'll tell everyone this one. I was banned from YouTube. I had all my content took off of YouTube because I was doing Ukrainian misinformation, but I never put anything on YouTube that was about the Ukraine proxy war.
Yeah.
I'd put it on Facebook, everywhere else, but they took me down for that. So, yeah, I would get a backup on Rumble. Rumble seems really well at the moment.
I think I'll aim for Rumble, and I might do that this coming week.
Yeah.
and start my channel and start importing stuff off me YouTube, because I'm not monetized on anything, because I'm shadow banned here, there and bloody everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
So although I might get my subscriber count might move up by 1 or 2 each week, I'm still only sitting at about 1,200, 1,300, and I'm never going to get that 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
Because even though if I do a live on YouTube and I can see physically that I've got 1,000 people watching and that's going to last for 20 minutes, when I review it back, you've got like 10 people saw it, etc., and you know that it's complete
against it, yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So I think Rumble was where I'm going to go, because I'm already on a 90-day restriction with Facebook, so I can't do lives, and a lot of what I put on there now is right at the bottom of the feed anyway. Yeah. So Rumble's probably the way to go.
I think it is.
I don't care about monetization or anything like that, because I do it for passion. I've got my day job where I earn my wages,
same as me,
and this is me passion.
Yeah, and you do it good as well.
Oh, thanks, Danny. It's lovely to see you.
And you.
Absolutely
and you.
Fantastic to see you. Christ, we've chatted so many times.
I know. That's why when I said earlier on, I think it must have been 2018, but for a long time I've not seen it. And I saw you over there, I was like, right.
It was literally about 2017, 18, I think, when we met. But it was so brief because nobody knew me then. So I was a person of non-interest, let's say.
You're a person of interest now, and a lot of people like what you do. So keep going.
Love you, Danny.
Thank you, mate.
Love you.
Thank you.
Outstanding.